What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of In Cahoots Podcast. My name is Nikki. Now, before we start this video, of course, I'm just going to remind you really quick, please subscribe, hit the like button, turn on your post notifications, share this video with your friends or the creators, and also comment. I want to know what you guys think about what we're going to talk about today. Make sure you hit the hype button as well. That helps the channel out a lot. And don't forget to join to become a member. Now that that's over. You guys, they're doing it again. And it just seems like lately they have been doing this a lot. They're coming from our Uncle B. They're coming for my Uncle Baron. It seems like it's just getting worse and worse. And I don't know, it's something just, it doesn't feel right. You know, it's almost odd to me how hard they're trying to shut Baron down. Anyway, Gary Melton from Paramount Tactical, he decides to make this video for X calling out Baron Coleman, threatening him and demanding an apology. Like, let's just get into it.
All right, kids, so today's episode is about the one lawyer that makes all lawyers look bad. And you know exactly who I'm talking about, Candace Owens' #1 simp, and that is Baron Whisper Campaign Coleman. Now, Baron would probably describe himself as a disinterested party, but I gotta tell you, he's made himself Candace Owens' personal Baghdad Bob, just out there spreading propaganda left and right, lying, and he's made himself Candace Owens' personal attack dog. He goes after any and everyone that just points out the truth, the fact that Candace Owens has zero evidence of a single material claim. But being her lapdog, he's gonna go after anyone and everyone that's just reporting the truth. Now, I've done a lot of research with Baron, and most of you know that he's a lawyer, and he's currently registered with both the Florida and the Tennessee bar. And I have checked, and I gotta tell you, all the defamatory claims that he has made against, and accusations that he's made against Erika Kirk, TPUSA, and Andrew Kolvet, those violate every single ethical standard of both the Tennessee and the Florida bar. It would be a real shame if he was taken to task and held accountable for his ethical violations, given that he is a lawyer and what he's doing to undermine our own justice system. Now, I gotta tell you, I actually owe Baron Coleman some gratitude because I wanted to prove to everybody that he was a professional propagandist. He has a long history, going back to his time as a government informant. That's right, he was a government informant that as a lawyer unethically went around and intentionally tried to create a whisper campaign in order to prejudice a jury. Can you imagine? That's crazy. But besides that, I wanted to prove that he was a propagandist and he was lying about me and everybody else. And man, Baron Coleman has done yeoman's work to make this easy to prove. He is my #1 guy. As a matter of fact, Baron, I appoint you an honorary member of my harem of
Gary's broads.
But I don't want to put words in Baron's mouth. Let's listen to his lies about me from his own mouth.
That all of these attempted alibis, the Mitch Snow wasn't at Fort Huachuca. That went through Gary. He tricked Mitch Snow's son into confirming that Mitch Snow was at Fort Huachuca. That was not known. In fact, that was hotly debated at the time. If you remember, if you go back in time, when the Mitch Snow idea first populated, there was a lot of doubt whether he was even there.
Well, let's take his advice, go back in time and check the record, because luckily the internet is forever. Let's see what I actually said prior to my December 27th interview with Mitch Snow's son. Look at this.
All right, folks, again, this is a very common tactic with disinformation. What they do is they confirm, they show you proof, or say they even confirm, the non-material elements of the story. All right, I can confirm you were there. Who cares? Who cares if you can confirm this guy was there, or you can confirm that he stayed at a freaking Best Western somewhere near Fort Huachuca? None of that matters. What matters is you confirm what he's saying, or anything. I mean, she confirms nothing ever. I mean, that's the problem with all this stuff. I don't doubt that he was, matter of fact, I'm quite sure he was down at Fort Huachuca. That doesn't mean anything.
The Mitch
Snow wasn't at Fort Huachuca. That went through Gary.
Do you see what Baghdad Bob did right there? He proved my entire point about disinformation. He wants to distract you completely away from the fact that Candace Owens didn't provide any evidence of a single material claim. And then what he did, he created a complete new narrative that refocuses your attention on a claim that was never made at all and isn't one of the substantive claims. We don't care if Mitch Snow was there. But I always stated I believe Mitch Snow was there because that's how disinformation works. And man, Baron, did you prove my point. You went right back to that point that I said, hey, this is what they're going to do. They're going to focus on the non-material claims, and that's exactly what you did. But luckily, you are a man of character and integrity because this is what you said right here.
I have this open standing agreement with anyone who has evidence that I've been wrong or that my opinion needs to be changed. Give me the evidence and I'll change my opinion. I'll make a correction. That goes for everything I've said. Everything.
Well, thank you, Baron. I appreciate that offer. I'm going to take you up on it because now that I've proven beyond a reasonable doubt that you have lied for months out there defaming me, claiming that I said something that I didn't and making a whole shtick about it. Oh, look at Gary. Look what he did. I never said those things. So I'm sure at any moment you're going to issue a statement retracting every bit of that nonsense, and you're going to come out and you're going to come clean with everybody out there. So I'll be waiting right here, waiting for you to retract your entire bullshit statement that you've been pushing around for the last few months. Oh, and you really should debate Andrew Wilson. I'm sure all the lies, all the nonsense that you've been pushing for the last 6 months, riding on the coattails of Candace Owens, I'm sure he won't be able to touch any of that stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. What I just watched, that wasn't a call out. That was a full-blown ego trip. Because Gary didn't get on that camera to inform anybody. He got on there so he could feel important. That's it. Chest puffing. All that, this lawyer makes everyone look bad. All those dramatic pauses, like you're exposing something, sir. You didn't expose anything. You exposed yourself. You spent how long ranting about Baron, calling him a propagandist, informant, Baghdad Bob, all that energy, and you still didn't disprove a single claim. Not one. So now I'm confused. If Baron is so wrong, if he's such a liar, why is it so hard for you to prove it? Why all the theatrics? Why all the name calling? Why all the threats? Because people who actually have facts do not act like that. They don't need to. And that whole bar violation scare tactic, that's nasty work. It would be a shame if he's held accountable. Okay, so now we're trying to intimidate people into silence because you can't win the argument. That's what we're doing. The wildest part is you're screaming defamation while actively defaming. Do you not hear yourself? Or are you hoping your audience doesn't? You know, let me break something down. You can call somebody a propagandist all day, but that does not make their information false. You could say they're biased. You could say they're connected. You could say they're benefiting. None of that matters. If you can't prove them wrong, it doesn't matter. And you didn't. You gave us a performance, Gary, a loud one, an emotional one, unhinged a little bit. And that's a performance. And then you keep trying to redirect back to Candace, back to narrative, weird points. That's not narrative, Gary. That's dodging. If you were really confident, you would say, well, here's what he said. Here's why it falls. And here's the proof. Boom, done. But you can't. So instead, you try to overwhelm your own audience with noise, hoping that people don't see that there's no substance behind it. Now, that might work on people who just want to be entertained. But for those who are actually paying attention, your whole video is empty. So no, this was not a powerful takedown. This was not an exposure moment. This was a man talking real loud for a very long time and still not making a solid point. And that, Gary, is what makes you look bad, not Baron. Literally no proof to anything none of these people say. No evidence, nothing. But the moment that Baron or Candace shows proof of something, shows evidence, shows hard facts. Oh, they're propagandists. They're lying. They're such a liar. They're going to mess up the case. Come on. It's getting old. Now, I want my pats on the back, you guys. I did not go off about my Uncle B. They caused me to get a little, serious when it comes to this because you can only just not make any sense for so long before I'm like, okay, wait, let me just call you out really quick. But anyway, I'm going to end this video right here. Leave my Uncle B alone. Guys, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the like button. Make sure you comment. Tell me what you're thinking. Make sure you share the video with your friends, other creators too. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you know every single time there is a video. And don't forget to smash that join button to become a member. I'm going to get out of here, guys. I will see you in the next video. This is In Cahoots Podcast. My name is Nikki. Peace.